What's up, guys?
Hi.
Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good day. Hope you're fresh.
And a good week.
Hope you had a good week.
Yes.
Hope your armpits smell well after working hard in the office that has an aircon. Yeah.
Aircon on 80 blow van ons hier.
Yes. Yes. But hope you're good though. So we had to bring Zizi on the show because boy just wants to be included, and truth be told, he just doesn't want to sleep.
He does sleep, but only in my arms during the day. So during the day, if I put him alone, he would sleep for like 15 minutes. So if I want him to have a stretch, calm down. If I want him to have a stretch, then he will have to be in my arms.
Yeah.
That's the only way he can have a stretch.
And he seems to love your braids now.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to be talking about something that one of the peeps commented on,
Yeah.
and suggested that we should share on.
Yeah.
And
we thought, yeah, why not? It's a great idea.
it's a great idea.
Yeah.
So you're going to introduce the topic.
I always introduce the topic.
Because you're good at it.
No.
You're good at it.
I always
do what you're
introduce-
good at.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna introduce this very flat. Okay, topic for today is actually what it is. Like how do I say it? Because it's quite long.
It's fine. Make it long.
It's
From brokenness to okay.
from a broken home to a happy marriage. First of all, are we happy? Are you happy?
So the person who commented,
Yeah.
asking about this,
Assumes that we are happy.
exactly.
So that's the story
Exactly.
for today.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it is what it is.
Here's
It's
what
what's up.
it is. You got your nigga
In the club.
Okay, no, guys.
Okay.
No.
Focus. So
That's something that
That's-
we do in the house.
yeah,
It's a video.
yeah.
Okay, no, it's fine. Like, forget we said that. It's an inside joke. Okay, cool.
So are we happy? So we're gonna be talking from you coming from a broken home
Yeah.
and moving from a broken home into a marriage where people presume that you're happy, and I'll say that you're happy. So so I'll say that you're happy. Okay, are you happy?
I am happy.
I'm happy too.
I am living the life.
I'm living the life.
I am. I really am.
So how was that for you? Like moving. What is brokenness? Let's start there.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to go into much detail because obviously there are people to protect and reputation to protect. But in my growing up, honestly, in my family, my parents' marriage wasn't the most inspirational. It wasn't the most inspirational. Actually, growing up, I didn't really know what love is or marriage is. Like, I didn't know love in the context of two people being together and all of that. I've never seen my parents do lovey-dovey stuff together. I've never known them to do anything together or to be like friends or whatever, all of that. I just knew marriage is we stay together and we have kids, we don't even have to be friends. Like, I'm not your friend, you're not my friend. We don't even have to spend time together, and I grew up in this situation, and I don't even realize that this is brokenness. This thing is broken. I see it as a norm, like not being friends with your spouse, not having good communication, not.
So how does that look like though? Like, what do you mean, like not having a friendship and not having good communication? Would it be like a situation where I get home and I'm like, give me the food and I'm off to bed. Like, how does that look like?
Yes, it would look exactly like that. Get home at one parent is working, the other doesn't work. Get home, eat. Don't even spend time with your kids. Get home, eat, go to bed. Do that every day for the rest of my life, basically. You know, family. Like I didn't even know what it is to have like a family vacation. I've never been to a family vacation. The only time I'm gonna go to a family vacation is with us. Okay, for the three of us haven't went yet, but it will be my first family vacation. So I don't know what a family vacation is. I don't know what celebrating someone's birthday as a family is. I don't know what, you know, like those small things that families have that we never had. This is like, as far as during Christmas Day, we don't even spend time together. Like my brothers go and spend Christmas somewhere else. Sometimes it's just me and mom at home. Sometimes it's mom, me and dad, but we just chill. Like it's not I don't know, like we're not really like close. But all the siblings, my siblings and I are very close with my mother. So yeah, it's a little bit of a complicated, I don't know how to explain it, but it's, yeah, but in the marriage context, I didn't know that a couple needs to like spend time together, kiss each other. You know, like I thought sex is for the purposes of making kids and all those small things. Like I didn't know what like intimacy is. I didn't know what, you know, love languages and all of those things. Like those were like all the things that I had to learn once I got into a relationship. I remember thinking, oh, we need to spend time together? Oh, okay. You know, like for me, spending time wasn't like a thing because I didn't know it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the image that was portrayed to you, that I get home, probably the food has been made, I get home, I eat, I shower, I get to bed. So, you know, there's no form of connection. And already you even assume Uguti, you know, even when they go into the bedroom, there's no form of like romance or communication or...
maybe there was. Obviously, I wouldn't know that. Maybe there was, but around us, there wasn't that, hi, honey, hi, you know, but honestly, recently I've heard them call each other by pet names. Obviously, they're still not too close, but I've heard them call each other by pet names. And I think this happened, like there was a little bit of a shift after, there were years, okay, so my mom was in an accident in 2007 when I was 13 years old, and she was hospitalized for quite some time, and we were at home with dad and he was trying his best, you know, and all of that. And 2 years after that, mom came home, I think in the same year. She was in an accident in July. I think she came back home in September. And so yeah, her leg was amputated, so that was a whole shift for everyone. From being able to do everything for us to us now having to do things for her. So yeah, it was a big shift for everyone, and like my brothers took a knock on it. But 2 years later, my parents got separated. And it was the hardest thing for my brothers. Like, it was hard for me, but I personally felt like it's better for them to be apart from each other than being together, because it was such a heartache for like seeing them like that. Like, it wasn't something nice to witness, especially me growing up, me being a teenager. So this happened while I was a teenager, and I decided that I'm not gonna do marriage. It's too much work, it's too much heartache, it's just too much of something that I don't want.
Sure, that's quite hectic. So then how did you, the next question is, that's how it affected you long term, that you didn't want to enter into something like a marriage. And did you how did the idea of relationships then look like? You know, before we come into the marriage aspect of how that affected you in your marriage, how did you overcome that hurdle to even enter into a relationship? Or what did even relationships look like even for you? Like, but what
I honestly have to say that it took God. Like, I know we always say, it takes God and whatnot, in a very in a very religious way, but honestly it took God. Like, I remember, like, I used to pray for my parents a lot. So I got saved actually 10 years ago this month. I just don't know when, but in this month.
10 years.
I've been saved for 10 years. So I used to pray a lot for them, and like for my family, for the salvation in my family, because I was the only one saved. And I think God changed me and He freed me. I started thinking of the relationship that I want. Like, even though, like, for me it was like it was more like, if I was to have a relationship, it would have to be this, but it wasn't too detailed. I used to watch Juliana and Jill and Bill.
You used to love that?
I used to love that because, like, that was such a mind shift for me. I've never seen, like, they were the first people that showed me that, no, this is how real relationships should be like. So I didn't know that you have to spend time together. I didn't know that you could be friends and all of those things. So when I used to watch that show, I was like, oh my word. So then I used to pray to God, like, God, if I'm in a relationship, can it be just like Juliana and Bill? And yeah.
Juliana and Bill.
Yes.
So that actually kind of helped you to see relationships differently,
yes,
and to actually want to now pursue marriage and
not so much marriage, relationships. Like, I was fine with just being in a relationship. I was fine with not being in a relationship. I was fine being a woman, young woman who isn't married. Like, I was fine with that. Like, I didn't grow up thinking,
it wasn't one of the goals.
No, it wasn't a goal. It really wasn't a goal at all. It wasn't a goal.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how then did that affect you in coming into an institution of marriage then?
If you can go back to watching I Cheated on our channel, you'll hear me say bits and pieces of what I'm going to say now already. I wanted perfection. So when I entered the dating phase, I wanted perfection because I was so desperate for something to work out. I wanted something like a Juliana and Will type of thing, instead of the heartache and all the brokenness that I have experienced. So I wanted something different, and I was willing to do just anything to make a relationship work.
Sure.
Basically, yeah.
Do you think, because of your mom's loyalty and persistence, that it also rubbed off on you?
Yes, I remember my mom. So after they separated for like a year, and then my dad stopped giving me money for school and all of that. So, like, that for me was like, okay, what's going on? He's been giving me money every week. I've been meeting him in town, and he would give me money. So what's going on now? Only to find out that he was in an accident and he had no one. So actually, a friend from school, her mother was the nurse in the ward.
I was gonna ask, how did you find out then eventually that?
No, my friend's mother was a nurse in the ward. And she recognized surnames, and she said, but isn't your friend surname this? My surname is Kwahu, and obviously it's not a popular surname. If it was Mukwena, it would have been another Mukwena, but Kwahu is like, there is another one that I know. So my friend's mother asked my friend, and then I think she told her mother that, no, she's been saying that her dad hasn't said anything to her for such a long time. And then that's how we knew that he was, And my mom came back, I remember very well. I came from think I came from Scrabble or something from school, like a little bit late home, and it was a little bit tense and cold. So I thought, who died? But my mom sat us down, my brothers and I, and she said, whatever happened between me and your dad, forgive him, he's your dad, and I have forgiven him as my husband.
Sure.
We are going to walk this new journey of healing with him because he is alone and he needs us.
Sure.
And we're gonna visit him and we're gonna do all these things for him, and we did. So I can say that forgiveness is quite an easy thing for me. Like, it's not like an easy, but I forgive easily because throughout my life, my mom has taught me how to forgive. Like, she's shown me different ways, and not only say to me forgive, but she's practically done it in the most impossible situations.
Sure.
And you know, that's just how I've learned to forgive
Sure.
as well. Yeah.
Wow, because the next question was going to be exactly that. Like, what did that lesson teach you from your mom? But already from what I learned from that is just the lesson of forgiveness, the lesson of grace, and you know, that's the stuff that you need in relationships.
As much as
forgiveness.
I agree with forgiveness, I don't think my mom thinks different, but I think that you can forgive someone without reconciling with them. Whereas my mom thinks that if you forgive, you must reconcile. But recently she sees now that no, you don't have to reconcile. Like, I know that I can forgive, but I don't have to reconcile.
We don't need to be friends.
We don't need to be friends. Yeah, I really can forgive, but we don't have to be friends.
Like, we're not promoting hatred.
Yes.
We're just saying that if someone continues to backstab you and you forgive them, you don't need to be friends. You can just, you know,
if it's going to be a cycle of like broken trust
all the time.
Broken trust.
Yeah,
But like, no.
Let's be friends.
Yeah, it's not going.
It's okay. It's okay to not be friends.
Yeah, it's okay to.
You've forgiven them. It's just you protecting yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly. Yeah.
Okay, mom is making you look good for the camera. Sorry, I was doing a bad job. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, what was the?
No, I was just saying that the lessons that you learned through that was forgiveness and grace. And loyalty.
Yes, loyalty and all of that. But honestly, it was very tough when he started the relationship with Linda and I. It was very, very difficult because there were a lot of things that I had to unlearn, and he also had to unlearn a lot of things as well. So it was very difficult. But guys, I think that the one thing that I'll always thank us for is the dependence on God. We depended on God, and I'm not saying that if like a relationship will work if you just depend on God. There are a lot of things that you have to do. You have to work on communication. You have to work on learning each other's love languages. You have to put in the work. It's you have to put in the work. But the essence of having God in it inspires you to want to put in the effort, to want to learn, to want to be better, to want to grow. Yes.
And this took some time.
It did. It did.
How did that? You know, this is probably like the last question. How did that affect you time-wise? You had to learn to be patient with myself, but you had to learn to be patient with yourself and the process of transformation and the process of changing what was old and moving on to what was new. How was that process of just trying to be patient to see the vision come to pass?
I think I was determined. To this day, I'm determined to make our marriage work. I'm determined for us to be a progressive in a progressive marriage. You know, like being happy is not all there is in a marriage. You know, there are a lot of things that are in a marriage. There is peace that's needed. There is forgiveness that's needed, communication, and all those things. So I'm very determined to make it work because I don't want to experience what the parents experienced. I am determined to make it work because yeah, I don't want to experience what the parents experience, and I just want it to work. Yeah.
She is talking to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want it to work. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. Like I feel like we don't have time. We can still dive into this.
I feel the same way
We're
too.
on time. Because I want to ask you about friendship and how that was something that was not important to you, but now it has become important to you. You know. But I don't know if you want to answer that, or do we like just say close? Do we close? Okay, we're gonna close. So we're gonna see you. Okay, you can answer. You can answer that before we.
Guys, you don't know the influence that Juliana and Bill played in my role in my life. Like they influenced me so much. They opened my eyes so much.
Siyabonga, Julian.
Like they just opened my eyes so
Siyabonga,
much,
Bill.
and obviously they wouldn't know this, but it's because of them that I started having hope and I started knowing what's needed in a relationship. They were just being themselves, and through them being themselves, I learned a few things. And whoa, like what are you doing if your partner is not your friend? That is obviously, I'm not saying that your partner is your everything. That's dangerous. No partner should be your everything, but they should be like a big chunk of your life, like the hugest chunk of your life. I mean, yeah. That's the person that you spend most of your time with.
Like for real.
Like for real now. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And thanks for your persistence, for your transition, for trusting the process, for wanting what is better and best for us, for not settling for what was the commonality to you, what was the usual for you, what was the standard for you, and you just raised the bar higher. So
yeah, it took a lot of prayer. A lot of hard work, renewing of the mind. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, friendship was very difficult in the beginning time of our relationship, and but you've become such an amazing friend.
Thank you.
Such an amazing friend. I need to practice my English.
It's good.
Such an amazing friend. But thank you.
No, thank you.
I appreciate you.
I also appreciate
and you. Are deeply loved.
I deeply love you too.
I deeply love you too.
I love you more.
Do you know that Azzy loves you? Look at this. Look at this. Let me show you how much Azzy loves you. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Look at him blush. Yeah, he leaves evidence when you kiss him.
Okay, let me kiss you. Bye, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, and tell your friends to watch this. And.
Yeah, man. We hope it was good, and please comment. Let us know what you want to talk about next. Okay.
Bye. That's because you don't want to kiss me. Bye.